Previously on Dis Irae.
こんばんは、藤井君。パリルモース。清掃13騎士団黒煙卓第2位、トバルカイン。おっしゃる通りよ、お嬢さん。彼は死体、生きていない。こうなったものを私が使う。最初からそういう配役。
Kane swung down his Lombavarn with all of his might, unleashing a burst of deadly lightning rivaling that of Indra himself, eclipsing all of his prior attacks in terms of ferocity. The strike was powerful enough to blow away everyone still alive in this place, not only Ren, Shu, and Ellie, but even Kay and Lisa as well. Rather than being frozen by the sheer magnitude of that unparalleled destructive power, it was more like I was crushed by, it was more like I was cursed by this freak's existence itself. I'd be seeing pearly gates in my near future if this kept up. For some reason, Sakurai cut in between us. That was what saved me.
どうやら3つ目のスバスチカが開いたようね。レオン、その子のことをよろしくお願い。難しい性格だけど、根は悪い子でもないはずだから。
待て。
じゃあ、さようなら。心配しなくても、私たちはもうあなたの前に現れないわ。許して。お願い。許してください。許して。
Episode 31, Akt der Barmherzigkeit. Hello everybody, welcome back to more Dis Irae. Guten Abend to my 3 German people who watch this series. Here we are with Sakurai. The indescribable regret in Sakurai's delirium spread to me. Sakurai, completely defenseless, spoke in a childish voice and tone befitting her age. I knew there was nothing much I could do about eavesdropping on her given the circumstances, but I still felt like I was doing something reprehensible. At the very least, I sure as hell wouldn't want our positions to be reversed. Everyone has their own little secrets they'd rather never bring up, and learning those secrets and exposing them was nothing but bad taste. Hell, to someone as bright as her, it would have been a huge disgrace to have others learn about those things when she wasn't aware of it. In my mind, that was more embarrassing than being seen naked. Not to mention, I was actually seeing her naked right now. Damn it, I'd really got myself in a huge steaming mess. I knew I couldn't emphasize with these psychos, but that didn't mean I could just throw her to the dogs. Sakurai, who knew nothing of my worries, or her spilling her secrets, continued muttering in delirium. Three of us. Though I tried not to listen, I couldn't avoid hearing what she was saying at such a close distance. As such, I unconsciously reacted to the last thing she said. Yeah, Beatrice. I heard that name somewhere before. I slowly pulled it out of my vague memories.
それからベアトリス・キルヒアイゼンはもう死んでるみたいで、その抜け番が桜井圭。こいつ。
Right. I had forgotten the whole thing in the chaos of Kane's attack, but I had heard that name from Hanjo shortly before that. Beatrice oh, God damn it. Kirkison? That's right. I didn't know how long ago this was, but she was a deceased member of the LDO, most likely Sakurai's predecessor. Sakurai was probably initiated in the Obsidian Round Table to replace that Beatrice woman after her death. This meant they probably knew each other. Actually, they're probably more than just acquaintances. For Sakurai to mutter her name while unconscious and seriously injured meant she must have been someone important, or so I figured. Were they friends or something more? My obsessive speculation was interrupted by a sudden change in Sakurai's condition. Her slender body started shaking more than it had before. She began to writhe. She was in pain, no worse, in pure agony. It seemed like something other than her wounds was causing it. I didn't know what it was, but it felt like something far more dangerous than simple injuries. What happened to her? Sakurai clung to me, her nails digging into my shoulder. She gripped me so hard she actually tore into my flesh, causing me to start bleeding. It hurt like hell, but I was more confused than anything. What had happened to her body, and what was she trying to do? It was already clear that her wounds weren't behind it. Several seconds passed as I wondered what to do when... Sakurai stopped moving with a quiet groan. I could no longer worry about shame or guilt. I ripped off the blanket and looked over the body to find the source of her sudden agony. And then I found a sinister tattoo located directly under Sakurai's navel on her womb. No, it wasn't a tattoo. The decapitation scar on my neck began to ache. It looked like a tattoo at first, but that wasn't it. It was something way more dangerous, something alive. It looked like one design-wise. The crimson scorpion crawled across Sakurai's skin in sync with her wild panting. The scorpion slowly yet surely moved downwards. It gnashed its tusks, raised its claws, and reveled in the sadism it inflicted on its prey. Sickening, human-like emotions emanated from the silent, two-dimensional being. Was it trying to devour Sakurai? I didn't know exactly what it was, but once I realized that thing was malicious in its intent, I began weighing my options. What was I to do? Sakurai would likely die if I left her be. Sure, I would probably call this convenient, since it would mean one less enemy to deal with. But I couldn't be so cold. Beating them in a fight was one thing, but leaving someone to suffer in such agony was just... You know, if this were a man, he wouldn't have any problems. It's because she's a hot girl. That's why we're having conflicting emotions. Especially someone in such a weak state as her. And though I hated to admit it, now that she touched the corner of my heart, I couldn't just abandon her like it was nothing. I'd become just as messed up as those bastards if I did. I had to remember why I was doing this in the first place. The entire reason I'd been in this kill or be killed scenario was because I wanted to protect my day-to-day life, starting with Kasumi. And the me from those days would never choose to abandon a dying person. If I let Sakurai die, I'd be beyond the point of no return. And that was the reason I suppressed the tattoo. Of course. Suppressed the tattoo. It was the only way. I didn't know if I could do it or not, but Sakurai had once managed to suppress my nigh uncontrollable destructive impulses. All I could do was imitate what she'd done. Sakurai was at degree level 3, while I was at degree level 2. It seemed impossible when I considered that, but it was likely that the tattoo had nothing to do with her and Irae anyway. I had attained the Yetzirah degree, but did I have enough power to beat the Scorpion Curse? That was the basic problem, though it was impossible for Sakurai, considering she was getting devoured from the inside out. Even a novice like me could probably do it from the outside. I resolved myself. I put my left hand on top of my right, then placed them on the scorpion tattoo. It was hot, extremely so. I could feel the pulsing of the scorpion from my right hand on Sakurai's abdomen. Get out of my way. Move your hand. You want me to devour you? The malicious hint of a voice passed through my right hand, echoing in my skull. So it really was alive. Its fight was with me. I didn't know what it was, but I wouldn't have some scumbag button in. This goddamn thing wasn't going to get away with a threat like that. I felt pain run through my right hand at almost the same time I had those thoughts. The crimson scorpion that had been nothing but a flat 2D object up until then pinched my right pinky with its claws. I grimaced at the pain that reached all the way to my bones, but it was no problem. Why else would I have used my right hand? I had predicted it would resist in some occultish way, and there was no way such shoddy claws could have cut through the soul that dwelled in my right arm. I let it do whatever it wanted for about a dozen seconds or so, then when I felt the scorpion grow impatient and tired, I focused all my will. No. This was an order that allowed for no defiance. In other words, sleep. The claws let go of my finger, and the pulsing scorpion under my hand ceased its crawling. It seemed like I had pulled it off. I initially wanted to order the thing to vanish, but as assorted as it may have been, it was a being dwelling within Sakurai's body. I was afraid that if I made it vanish, I would have taken a few organs with it. That would have most likely been fatal to Sakurai, and certainly not the end that I wished for her. She was no longer in pain. Nice. Her breathing slowly evening out in her sleep. Well, I figured I could relax for now. She'd saved me several times till now, albeit not exactly out of sheer goodwill, and I ended up overhearing several of her secrets. She might not have liked it, but with this I considered my debt repaid. I wouldn't retreat, and Sakurai herself must have had her own goals too. Those ended up conflicting, well, we'd have no choice but to fight again. And if it came to that, then at least I wanted to get all the unnecessary debts out of the way now, so I wouldn't have any baggage later on. I hoped she wouldn't get mad, or wake up. I placed her on my knees and wrapped the blanket around us, deciding to wait for morning to come. Ooh. It was raining. A woman without an umbrella stood on the bridge, accompanied by a grotesque giant. It was Lisa Brenner and Tubal Cain. Instead of heading straight back after the battle at the club, they went to the bridge. The ocean echoed with the sound of pouring rain. It was hail. The temperature was dropping. Lisa mocked herself, well aware that this would be nowhere near enough to wipe away her sins. She wanted to go somewhere devoid of people, thus she ended up here. She had been betting that there were few who would come to this place so late on such a rainy night. Indeed, there was no signs of anyone else. How long has she been there? She'd been exposing herself to the rain for a long time, her hair and clothes already soaked. However, she merely gazed at the shining city in the distance without paying mind to that sensation clinging to her skin. That's a good CG. I like that. She'd forgotten about it, even though it meant a certain girl's very important birthday. Or has she simply been trying not to think about it? She had feared, detested, and yet also awaited the coming of that day. Inconsistent emotions whirled about in her heart. What was she thinking? What did she wish for? What was she doing here? Her job was over. She had completed her mission, followed her orders, and fulfilled her oath. The only thing left to do was to sit it out and wait. She had grown tired of waiting and hoping these past 60 years. Yet now that she had accomplished what she needed to do, all Lisa felt was fear, regret, and impatience. Would her wish be granted? Would everything she'd lost come back to her? Or would she end up losing something else in return? Superhumans who had lived for centuries often appeared in fiction. They were transcendental, and left all ordinary worries and worldly desires far behind them. Lisa thought that was all a lie. She had lived for over 90 years, lost nearly everyone from her generation, and butchered people by the scores. Yet in spite of that, she ironically felt no sense of transcendental enlightenment. Much like her aging had stopped in her late 20s, her mind hadn't matured at all either, still that of a young woman. Ever since that time, she had simply gone with the flow, not knowing what to do, almost like an awkwardly spinning weather vane. A young child had called her a hypocrite, and she wouldn't deny it. She couldn't succumb to madness from her own will and desires or build up a firm position like her peers did. She felt lost constantly. That sensation led to worrying, and those worries caused her to go with the flow. At this rate, the others would simply keep on using her.
あなたもそうね。
Her words, laden with a hint of self-mockery, were aimed at the giant standing next to her. He was a soulless machine, a weapon. All she could do was laugh at the irony of him being controlled by yet another worthless puppet such as herself.
だからせめてあなたはそうじゃなければいいと私は。
Now that she thought about it, was it wrong to do what she did to save her? Is that what he felt? She wondered how the giant felt about her.
ねえ、よければ聞かせてちょうだい。カイ、いいえ。
Well, right as she was about to speak his true name.
風邪をひきますよ、リザ。
Oh, I wanted to know his name. Surprised by the abrupt voice from behind her, Lisa turned around to face its source. It's the priest.
ああ、失礼。驚かすつもりはなかったのですが、申し訳ありません。
バレリアン。
Christoph, the divine vessel. The priest addressed Lisa by her real name, a favor the nun returned by doing the same.
風邪なんてひかないわよ。冗談がきついわ。
いや、まあそう言わずとも。何にせよ今のあなたは自虐的な行為にふけっていると感じたので。
自虐？
違いますかな？
違うということもないでしょうね、実際に。
Trifa stroked his chin as he walked towards, or rather, right past Lisa.
バレリアン。
まずはご苦労。大義ですと言いましょうか。あなたのおかげで第三のスワス地下は問題なく開きました。礼を言います。
礼なんて。
She didn't need it. Besides, it made no sense for him to thank her, not unless she would have voiced his opinions. However,
あなたは何をしているの？
いえ、ただ少し妙な拍の動きを感じたものでね。時間にしてあれはスワス地下が開く直前であったでしょうか。どうも私しかそれを感じることはなかったらしい。まあベイはどうだかわかりませんが、マレウスが何も言わないので単なる気のせいということもあるでしょう。もしくは私のみが感じたことに何か意味があるのかと。
それであなたは一体何を？
ですからそれを確かめに。
そこで？
ええ、そう。
he voiced his answer casually, still standing before the silent giant. The priest's towering frame was over 190 centimeters tall, yet still he looked no more than a child next to Kane. With an even shorter Lisa next to them, the picture resembled a cartoonish composition with no sense of scale.
静かですね。おとなしい。おお、負傷しているようですが、すでに傷も合わさりかけている。大したものだ。
Though Kane couldn't move if Lisa was dead, Trifa was still quite calm in the face of that massive violence and destruction. Lisa felt indescribable chills down her spine when she noticed the look on Trifa's face. Just as Kay had said, Kane was undoubtedly the strongest weapon in the Obsidian Round Table's current armory, with Bay coming in second. She could declare that with certainty. But this priest, his powers she could not gauge or even understand. Contrary to his kind and fragile appearance, the oppressive and wicked presence silently emanated by the man felt far from normal. Though they'd known each other for a long time, he had only seen Trifa this far up close a few times in the past. As such, there was a fact about him that she had nearly forgotten, one she had dismissed as her imagination or a mere misunderstanding. Valerie Trifa the divine vessel, was not the strongest of the Obsidian Round Table, but he was the most dreaded.
時にリザ、あなたは迷っておられますね。
Just then, the priest stopped looking up at Cain and turned back to Lisa. Oddly enough, the wicked aura that lingered about him had vanished.
仕事を終え、あとは待つのに。もともと暴れ好きでもないあなただ。それは結構だし、止めません。だが、このカインはまだ動かしたいと思うのですよ。いかがですかな？
どうして？
Lisa spoke in the calmest voice she could muster.
なぜまだ彼を使いたがるの？手が足りないというわけでもないでしょう。
それについては順序を追って、まずはあなたの悩みのことを。
Lisa raised an eyebrow at Trifa's attitude. Though he was talking, it sounded more like the priest was asking for permission to complain to her. However, he paid no heed to her and continued.
あなたの悩み、その迷い、口にせずともわかります。私には妻も子供もいませんが、それに代わるものならいたしいる。大事でしょうし、大事です。そうはかけがえのないぬくもりだ。たとえ悪鬼羅刹と言われる身でも、我々とて人の心は持っている。
I know Cain looks like he probably doesn't have any kind of heart.
故に、あなたが抱くその苦悩、胸に迫るほど理解できます。そも葛藤の根源は、子を抱くために子を殺す。矛盾が大きすぎてやりきれない。だから選択できずに流される。当たり前ではないですか。我らは正しく似た者同士だ。リザ、私もまたあなたと同じくテレジアの幸せを願っている。
あなたは？
For a moment, Lisa had a hard time understanding what the priest was talking about. Wishing for Theresa's happiness indeed was correct. However,
あなたはハイドリヒ教を？
あの方は我々ごときの占領など意にも介しはしませんよ。副首領閣下もまた同じ。彼らを自分の物差しで測るのはおやめなさい。愚行な上に意味もない。あのお二人にかかれば全てどうでもよいと言われて終わりだ。
でも
聞きなさい、リザ。シュライバー卿にマキナ卿、あの二人もやはり気にはしない。一方は画集の虜で、もう一方はそもそも思考すらしていない。黒煙卓の頂点はひどく存在で、言ってみればおおらかですよ。まあザミエル卿、あの方だけは少々面倒でありますが、それもまた幸運なことに。
the priest's form grew hazy as he stopped mid-sentence. Oh God.
万一彼女の出陣が起きたとしても、いい取引材料を見つけました。とはいえおそらく今の調子なら必要ないと思いますがね。
My God. Trifa punched through Lisa's chest all the way to her breastbone, grabbing her heart and then piercing all the way through her back.
なぜ私を？
慈悲ですよ、リザ。
The priest caught her falling body as though he were embracing her, then spoke in a voice laden with affection.
本音を言えば邪魔ということになるのですが、それでも慈悲であることに変わりはない。これから先起こる未来、あなたは知らぬ方が身のためだ。
I can see why he's the most dreaded. He was just talking to her like normal, and then all of a sudden he just kills her straight up. Because, he knows that she is going to be an obstacle with her conflicting emotions. He knew that, so that was the best way to end it. But he also was, he didn't want her to see the way the world was going to, turn into with these guys. So, yeah, he killed her, and there was an act of mercy. I mean, he was horrible, sure. Man. Her vision grew blurry. Blood gushed out of Lisa as her immortal body began to crumble. The annihilation of an apostle carried one out with one's bare hands. There were only 2 members of the Obsidian Round Table could pull that off. Machina and Valerie Trifa. In her confusion and despair, it hit Lisa again that it was undoubtedly the priest, her comrade, who had caused the situation and was sending her body towards death's embrace. Now, see, I remember we saw Machina at the very beginning of the game, like the very first episode, and I always thought it was really cool. And I can't wait for that guy to show up.
バレリア、あなたはレアを
救いますよ。それは誓って。あの子に性質など使わせない。
What?
そしてあなたの望みも私の望みもやはり必ず叶えてみせる。
No, you have to elaborate that. You can't just drop that and never bring it up.
そんな。
She sensed a terrible contradiction in his words. There was no way he could.
できますよ。可能です。あなたと私は同類だが、決定的に違うところが一つある。共に惑い、悩み、揺れに揺れ、苦しいほど葛藤する。それは確かにそうでしょう。だがしかし、それでも、リサ。私は行動に移すのです。何度でも何度でも失えば取り戻す。取り戻してまた奪う。不毛であろうが矛盾であろうが、私はそれをためらわない。リザ、あなたは優しい人だ。この狂った天秤には耐えられないし、テレジアと計りにかけて私が選んだものはすなわち。
The priest dared not say the rest. He merely pulled his arm out while still holding on to the nun's heart.
Sayonara, Liza Brenner. Sayonara, 我が愛しき同胞。あなたは私が嫌いでしょうが、私はあなたが好きでしたよ。テレジアが娘なら、あなたは妻であり妹だったと言われたところで迷惑千万でしょうがね。これは偽りのない真実です。ですから。
Once he finished watching the nun's body fade away, turn to ash, and wash away with the rain, the priest turned to the giant next to him.
あなたの遺産は私がもらい受けましょう。ほう、やはり思った通り、彼女が朽ちてもこれは消えぬ。
Lisa Brenner's Unnerve, the terrible mask upon the face of that wretch of a giant, remained intact.
これが残っている限り、多少精度が落ちたところで、他のものにもカインは使える。そして何より。
Well, what's the point of it if it just stays around after she dies? Isn't it supposed to go away? Whatever. I'm not gonna question it. The priest stared intently at the brusque lump of iron wielded by the giant, then sounded a laugh.
カインの処置はお好きなようにと、確かに昔言いましたが、まさかこう来るとは思いませんでしたよ、リザ。私が憎いですか。
Wait, I gotta tell me his name. The priest had gestured the giant by a certain name. Its soul was lost in the hiss of the pouring rain. It's probably something important, right? Nonetheless, its mass began to tremble and creak. The giant clattered its teeth like a starved demon as it faced the priest with contempt, cursing him with an almost palpable bloodlust. The rage and fury exuding from his body were certainly not those of a mere puppet. Ignoring the giant's reaction, The priest simply walked by its towering frame.
戻りなさい、カイン。戻ってそう。マレウスのところへでも行けばよい。彼女ならば今のあなた、従前とはいかぬまでも使用してくれるでしょう。私はこれからリザを弔わなければいけません。
Cain proceeded forward in complete silence. His will to resist fierce enough to rend the very bedrock beneath his feet. Feeling the giant stare on his back, Trifa too began his gait forward, ever ahead. Clutched in the hands behind his back was Lisa's still beating heart.
もう少しだけ辛抱していてください、リザ。ここから近い場所といえば遊園地です。あそこならあなたも寂しくないでしょう。昔に何度かテレジアと一緒に出かけたこともありますしね。
Caressed by the touch of ice-cold rain, 2 swastikas opened in a single night. With this, their crusade was now half accomplished. Enraptured by the sweet pain, the priest laughed as he shed crimson tears, rivulets of blood pouring from his stigmata. That's it for chapter 7. Aww. I gotta buy the rest of it. Well, that's it. That's the common route of Dis Irae. I'm gonna have to get the rest of the game. And then I will... Actually, wait. I got the other chapter. We're gonna play that first. And then we'll wait, is that gonna mess the story up though if I play the extra part? I don't think it will. If anyone in the comments knows if it will mess up the storyline, please let me know. But yeah, that's it for the common route, and I'll have to purchase Act 1 and 2 to do the stories. So yeah, have a good day everybody. See you then.